So Ireland finally released their World Cup squad. It's been a long time coming, but they're not rushing things this time. They've had some injuries they've had to watch. They've also in the past, peaked a bit too early, shall we say. People have worked them out. Maybe that's something to do with not rushing as well, not wanting to show their hand. They've got a huge body of work behind them, winning the Six Nations, the Grand Slam, world number ones, winning 13 games in a row. I mean, they are set, they're in good position, and they've got two slightly easier pool games before those big pool games, the pool of death versus South Africa and Scotland. So plenty of time to build still for Ireland. And also Sexton hasn't been around, he'll be back for the World Cup, so no rush there. I think they're still absolutely fine. Let's have a look at this squad now. The first thing at loosehead, big shame, Cian Healy is out, the veteran loosehead prop, so strong, like absolute rock, not going anywhere in the scrum, and I think he'd be the ideal guy they'd want to bring on maybe in the South Africa game. So yeah, that definitely is a big loss. So Loughman is in instead of that. Kilcoyne had a bit of an injury worry, but he's okay, so that's better news. So Kilcoyne, Loughman and Porter. At hooker, there's been a few injury problems as well, but it looks like Dan Sheehan is recovering nicely, so that's good. Kelleher's had a few niggles as well, and then the reliable Herring, so they're the three hookers. So it would have been devastating if Sheehan was out of the World Cup, but he's not, so that's good news. Then the tight heads, as expected, Bealham, Furlong, O'Toole. Second rows, it looks like 5, but really Baird is a second row / back row blindside, so it's kind of 4 and 5 or 5 and 4, however you want to look at it. So back row, even though it says 4, is kind of 5 anyway, and Tadhg Beirne could play in the back row as well. So second rows, Baird, Beirne, Henderson, the young Joe McCarthy and James Ryan. Then the 4 back rows, Conan, the number 8, Doris, who can play pretty much anywhere, but maybe 6 or 8 mainly. Marnie there as well, the veteran, and the World Player of the Year, Josh van der Fleer. Now, in that back row, the guy to miss out, very unlucky, was Prendergast. No, the young 23-year-old. It's a shame he can't go get that experience, because I'm sure he's going to be a big part in the future. Maybe when Amani retires, he would be in. So yeah, a tough call, but they've gone with an extra backs. They've got 3 scrum halves, 3 fly halves, 4 centres, 5 back 3, so not skimping anywhere in the backs. Prendergast, unlucky not to go, but surely any injury there in the second row or back row, then he is in. At scrum half, it was always going to be Casey, Gibson Park and Murray. Fly halves, Beirne, Crowley and Sexton. Sexton obviously coming back from his ban for the World Cup. Centres, Aki, Henshaw and Ringrose, they were probably always going. McCloskey is the guy who has kind of got the nod there. Like I said, Prendergast opened up the gap. Frawley could have gone a bit more versatile, but McCloskey has been playing so well, so solid. He is just a 12, so it makes him slightly more risky, I guess, but his time has come. He's been waiting for so long, been the nearly man, so great news for him going to that World Cup. So it looks like Aki and McCloskey, the 12s, Henshaw and Ringrose, the 13s, although Henshaw can play 12 and 13. Back 3, the veteran Keith Earls, who maybe would have retired a year or so ago, he goes, which is brilliant. Back on form, and Hanson, Keenan and Lowe, they were always going, and Jimmy O'Brien is the versatile guy there who adds a lot of positions, a lot of flexibility. Stockdale misses out, but that was a long shot. Defensively, maybe he wasn't quite up to it and he missed another tackle in one of the warm-ups, so he probably wasn't going anyway, but I think that probably put the nail in the coffin. So that is the squad. And then to finish with, what do I think is their strongest team? Well, this is what it is. If everyone is fit, I'm pretty happy with this team. Porter, Sheehan, Furlong, the best front row. Furlong maybe hasn't been quite at his best, but probably still good enough to start, and Bealham coming on, it's a good one too. Tight head. Then Kelleher coming on for Sheehan, so 2 good athletic, in their prime hookers there. And then we've got Kilcoyne coming on for Porter. Probably would have been Cian Healy if he didn't get injured. Tadhg Beirne, James Ryan, absolutely their number 1 second rows. I'd definitely have Baird on the bench, can play second row, and he's such an athlete as well, either in second row or at number 6. And then Conan on the bench as well, who probably cover mainly 8, but then you can move around Amani and Doris as well, so that's not a problem. They've got 2 good options in the back row. I think Amani, van der Fleer and Doris is the one I'd go for, although you could have Conan at 8 and maybe Doris at 6 instead of Amani, but either way you have it, it's very, very strong. On the bench there, like I said, Conan to come on. My number 9 would be Gibson Park for sure. Amazing pace to the game. Really good quick ruck ball from him, as does Casey. The 2 quick 9s I'd go for there. Murray's a good 9, very experienced, but he's just not as quick as those 2. So I think that's definitely the way to go for me. Sexton, still their number 110, even though he's been absent. I don't think Byrne or Crowley's going to be taking that mantle anytime soon. Probably just Byrne on the bench covering 10. In the centres, I think Aki will be the starting centre. I think he's the one for me. The fact they've actually got Aki and they've got McCloskey in the squad kind of says that Aki's going to be starting at 12, not Henshaw, who could play there. I'd have Henshaw on the bench. He can cover centres, back 3 if needed. Ringrose could maybe play in the back 3 as well. So I think you go for Aki and Ringrose, the power and the subtlety. It's a great combo for sure. And then the back 3 is absolutely nailed on. Lowe with his kicking as well and his power. Hanson, his all-round ability. Keenan, Mr. Do No Wrong at fullback. And like I said, Henshaw covering the back. So pretty sure very close to that is their strongest team. Let me know what your strongest team would be. Any other picks you'd have in the squad. Love to know your thoughts. And I'll catch you next time.